Mooresville High School. My name is Eric Schwarzenegger and I'm the principal here at Mooresville High School. I've created this video to help clarify some misconceptions and misunderstandings around our attendance policy here. As you know, there's been an emphasis on attendance this school year. And before I get into attendance recovery hours and how all of that works, I first want to talk about why we are re-emphasizing attendance here at Mooresville High School. There are two reasons. The first is over the last several years, we have seen a steady decline in our average daily attendance rate. Well, research shows us and common sense tells us that in order to be successful, you first and foremost need to be present. And so we need all of our students present every day they possibly can be here at high school. The second reason is that when you look at our discipline data, skipping school or leaving school without permission is our number one type of referral here at the high school. And we want to decrease those types of referrals because, again, being present in your class is first and foremost the first step to success. So, with that being said, let's get into a little bit of the details about the attendance policy. According to state board policy, students are allowed 6 absences before they earn a failure grade for a certain course due to attendance. So essentially, you have 6 freebies for every class. Now here at Mooresville High School, there are only 2 types of absences that we count against you towards those 6. And those absences are 2A, unexcused absences, and 1A, illness or injury with a parent note. Again, you get 6 of these for the entire semester for each class. But over 6, if you pass a class, you'll earn a grade of what's called FF, which means you failed due to excessive absences. Now let's say you do have more than 6 of these kinds of absences in a class. First of all, how do you know? Well, you know because we have been sending you and your parent emails throughout the semester. And in those emails, we tell you for each class how many of these types of absences you have. So we're helping you keep track of your number of absences. If you have more than 6, you can do what's called recovery time. You can recover time by staying for after-school tutoring with your teacher or by signing up for an attendance recovery session. And we hold those every week after school. Later in the semester, we actually hold them multiple days during the week. And we also hold Saturday session where you can make up 4 hours of time at a time on Saturday morning. If you receive an FF for a course in which you passed due to attendance, you will be given one last chance opportunity to make up some of that time in January for the fall semester, or if it's in the spring semester, you would have to come during summer school to make up some of that time. So we will give students an opportunity to make up that time, but again, we're holding you accountable for that time for any absences above 6. Now, there are a number of other types of absences that we have, but we don't count against you. So for example, medical or dental appointments, death in the family, court or administrative proceedings, religious observances, if medically fragile, deployment activity, and educational opportunities. These types of absences do not count against you towards your 6. However, in order for us to code them as such, you need to provide the following documentation. Additionally, any absences due to suspension, school-related activities such as field trips, or maybe you weren't allowed to come back to school because we didn't have your immunization records or health assessments, we're not holding those absences against you either. For any of these absences, again, it's very important that you get us the documentation to the office as soon as possible so that we can scan it in and put it in your file. If you have any questions at any point in time about our attendance policy or your specific attendance record, please email Ms. Colleen Kennedy. Now I want to discuss with you how attendance recovery hours work. And to do that, I've got 3 student examples for you. As I said earlier, you've been receiving emails throughout the semester that outline the number of absences you have for each class. Again, those are your 2A and 1A absences. If you have more than 6 absences in a class, you will need to recover missed time. Let's take a look at the first example. In this first example, this student has 7 absences in each of his 4 blocks, which means even if he passes these classes, he or she will receive a grade of FF on the report card because they have too many absences. Now, if I look down here, it says that this student has recovered a total of 4 hours. So what this student can do is say, okay, in order to get from 7 to 6, I need to subtract 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. If I add that up, that's 4 hours. So these 4 hours can be distributed to these 4 classes, bringing him down to 6. And so, therefore, student A is good to go. They have enough recovery hours to bring their absences down to 6. Let's take a look at the second student. Over here, this student has recovered also 4 hours of recovery time. But if you look at the absences for each block, 3, 3, 4, and 4, this student has not surpassed 6. So even though they have banked these hours, most likely for staying after school for tutoring, this student doesn't need these 4 hours for any of their classes. So this student's also good to go. They've got banked recovery time for this semester, and they're below 7 in each of their 4 classes. Let's take a look at a third example. This student has recovered a total of 1 attendance recovery hour, but is over 6 in each of the classes. So this student could take this 1 hour and apply it to first block, but bringing him to 7, but still needs 1 more hour to get down to 6. For second block, needs 4 more hours to get to 6. For third, needs 2, and for fourth, needs 2. So that's a total. 1 plus 4 is 5, 7, 9 hours total still needs to earn in attendance recovery hours. So in this example, this student still needs to recover many hours in order to pass the class. I appreciate you taking this time to watch the video to learn a little bit more about the attendance policy and how it works. I want to make 2 final points. Number 1, I want to reemphasize the ways to make up absences. Again, they are primarily staying for after-school tutoring, staying for after-school attendance recovery, or Saturday sessions. To stay for tutoring, simply stay with your teacher at their designated times. For after-school attendance recovery or Saturday school, please use the link on the Mooresville High School website to sign up. Those links are also available in the student emails that we send out. The second point I want to make is that last week you learned about the death of the appeal packet. And while that was a funny video, there are a lot of questions and concerns about that. The key thing here is that we are now only counting the 2A and 1A absences against you. All of the other absences with medical documentation and all the proper documentation won't count against you. So again, the key here is not to appeal your absences, but to make up your time. And I have one final point for seniors. If you're applying for college as seniors, they're going to want your transcript at the end of the first semester. You do not want an FF on your transcript at the end of the first semester. So a special message to the seniors is definitely make up your time, because that will reflect poorly on your transcripts that you submit to colleges. Thank you.